are you? Where are you from?
My name is Wyatt Brennan. I'm raised in Melbourne and I'm from the Camberwell tribe.
So tell me a little bit about your area. Where's the cover?
I think it goes a little bit into southern Queensland, but it's around the top left side of New South Wales is the best I can describe it. It's pretty large for the areas or the tribes surrounding it, but it's top left New South Wales.
Hello, my name is Wyatt Brennan.
Hello, my name is Wyatt Brennan and I am from the Camberwell mob.
My mob is the Camberwell and it extends in the northwest part of New South Wales and overlaps into the surrounding territories.
What are 3 things you like about yourself?
I like to say my general knowledge of what to do in most situations. I like helping my brother like cross the road. Like if I see a car, I'm like pulling back. I feel like I'm quite good at that type of stuff and like knowing what to do in certain situations. That kind of goes under general awareness, basically.
3 things I like about myself is my passion for the activities that I participate in, my personality, which I feel like is quite good, and my characteristics, which is close to personality, but I feel it's a bit different. What do I like to achieve in life? I would like to achieve something greater so that I can look back after my life and be proud of what I've done. What makes a great Aboriginal role model is someone who stands up and embraces the culture and makes sure it lasts longer. How do I define manhood? I define it as being passionate and taking a step into the outer world and giving back to the community of what you have previously received.
What are your hobbies? My current hobbies are, it's playing video games, but that's a hobby I kind of want to break because I feel like I'm getting too involved with it and I want to get more active, so I'm going to start going to the gym. So I'm trying to make that one of my hobbies and trying to be physically active.
Hey, what's your favourite colour?
Green.
Why?
I don't really know. It's just been green for as long as I can remember. I assume it'd be probably like nature related, something like that. Like green's like the color you most see, but I don't really have a reason for it.
Why? My favorite color is green, probably because it's like nature and like one of the first things I saw growing up, like just being surrounded by greenery. What is one thing you've done in your life that you're very proud of achieving? Probably certain sport awards. I used to be very good at sport. I got best and first for one of my teams in Division 1 back when I was younger, and also some academic like grades, like getting A's and that stuff.
What makes you proud to be Aboriginal?
Well, firstly, it's unique, as in, I think are we 3% of the population, something around there, and it's pretty unique because we're a unique culture only to Australia, so that's pretty cool, I guess.
What is one Indigenous issue that you're passionate about? Mine would be giving back, because obviously Indigenous people have had a lot of stuff taken from them, like families, land, culture, and I would like to see that be given back to them. What impact would you like to make in Indigenous affairs and why?
I would change the amount of funding that Indigenous people get, because they're quite far behind academically and in other areas. Like I know many people live in rough conditions and stuff, so I'd provide better standards by giving more funding to them.
Giving back to our communities that got stolen from, so that's talking family, culture, heritage, land, and all that stuff.
Stereotypes exist for Aboriginal people.
Would be my friends seem to think that I get plus 30% on all my tests. That's because when we do a test, there's a certain box where you tick, are you Aboriginal or Torres Strait Islander? I have to tick that and then they think I get bonus marks off that when that's not the case.
Oh, there's quite a lot obviously you've got the alcoholism, jail, because like, I don't know, it's like 50% of the jail is Indigenous people, something around that number, which is crazy. And recently with the Black Lives Matter stuff, I saw a bunch of my friends put on their story like, Black Lives Matter isn't bad, but like Indigenous people have like the highest rate of conviction, something like a bunch of stats saying like Indigenous people have like highest rate of conviction. There's a bunch of them. I forgot. That's the main one I remember.
What are some things you would like to change about the stereotypes you hear about Aboriginal people?
I'd like them to be correct for the most part. As in, a bunch of my friends, they're like, because I'm decently smart, they go, oh, you're only better than me because you get plus 30% on all your tests, which isn't true. And they say that because, you know, how you have to tick the little box when, like, to say you're Indigenous when you do like a test or something. Yeah, so my friends go, oh, you get an extra 30%, which I don't. It's just, that's what they say.
A question, where the hell would they have heard that shit from?
I think it's to make themselves feel better, you know, because like I'm doing better than them in like a test. So they're like, oh, you get plus 30%. That's why you did better. You know what I mean? So kind of like a cop out for them as an excuse of why I'm smarter.
Could be any animal or totem, what would I be and why? I'll be a peregrine falcon because they are the fastest animal and I think they're quite cool. And I feel like the adrenaline rush when you're going that fast would be quite cool.
If you had a superpower, what would it be?
I want to say like probably like invisibility, something along those lines, you know, just like sneak around, that kind of stuff.
I would like to control, I reckon, elements because then you can basically control everything in the world. And then I'd probably use it to conduct experiments like for science to like you could cure cancer rather than go out and save people. And why is this school a great place for Indigenous students? I think it's a great place because the opportunities and experiences and excursions that broaden my knowledge of all our shared history and experience with each other, and that you get to learn from other people and what they've dealt with from their opportunities and experiences, and that's without the teachers and facilities, and that's why this is such a great school. What would be my dream job and why? I would like to be an engineer or in science, chemistry, biology or physics because I like science and I find it quite cool.
Currently I'm thinking of engineering or a science job relating to physics or chemistry.
With this happening, what are things you think might have changed in the world?
I think personally that some things have become more efficient, as in like for our school, at least, this is an example in our school, you can now order to the canteen, you just have to walk through and pick it up rather than lining up. Like, I think like certain innovations have come of it. Like some people don't need to go to the office anymore because they can just do their work from home. But it also has affected a lot of people negatively, but those are some like benefits of it.
How do you define racism?
I define it as being offensive to a certain race, as in whether it be intentional or non-intentional, it's offending someone who may take offense to the comment that's been said.
What makes a person racist?
I don't think a person can really be racist. It's more the things they say, unless they're consistently doing it. So if someone says one offhand racist comment, I don't consider them racist. I just say it was a bad choice of words, maybe. But however, if it's consistent, then I define that person as racist.
What qualities make a good leader?
Well, obviously leadership, being able to like take charge, like that's pretty given. But like more being able to lead people when they need leading, if you know what I mean.
What's your favourite footy team?
Hawthorn.
Okay. Who's your favourite player?
Tom Mitchell right now, because I mean, I haven't really been following the AFL much since like year 6, because that's when I last played. But Tom Mitchell is my favourite right now.
What aspects of culture do you think might have been lost in your family?
Oh, well, quite obviously is like language, because, well, we don't speak it. Like, I don't think my dad even speaks it. He told me that he knows how to speak it. He just doesn't speak it because no one else does. But I don't know if that's true or not. But I haven't heard, like, when we've gone up to visit family members up in Moree and Narrabri, I haven't heard any of them say any Indigenous words, sentences, anything like that. So I think that's the biggest loss.
What aspects of culture does your family still practice or celebrate?
None, I don't think. Again, going back to like loss of communication, we don't even know how to speak the language. So like, we don't celebrate anything like that. Even Australia Day, like as a joke, my dad refers to it as Invasion Day, you know, as most Indigenous people do. So yeah.
What do you want people to know about Aboriginal culture?
The main thing would be that it's mostly gone, because I feel like that doesn't have enough recognition to it. Like the Indigenous race has been predominantly erased for the most part, which I don't think is touched on enough. Although it is great that efforts are trying to bring it back.
If you had kids, what aspects of culture would you like them to learn?
The main one would be acceptance, I reckon. Just because like acceptance of like firstly like what's happened to our culture, acceptance of other people, like of what's happened, like, you know, that type of stuff.
What's one thing that people don't know about Wyatt?
Probably that I actually like socializing, believe it or not, because I don't really go out much, but I do like hanging out with people. I just don't go out much, because even my family and friends make jokes about that.
If you're going to write a book about Wyatt, what would you call it?
I don't really know. It depends if it's like a biography or something like that. Probably like something like how to like raise Wyatt, how to become Wyatt, something like along those lines. You know what I mean?
It'd be like an autobiography. It'd be like the journey of Wyatt.
How do you define Aboriginality? Or what makes a person Aboriginal?
I think it's the connection or recognition more so of the culture and your identity, rather than like just being Indigenous. I think you have to like recognize that you are, like do stuff like the community, like you know, be in Aboriginal Australia and not just say, oh, I am, or I have part, something like that, you know.
Yeah. What motto do you live by?
I don't really have a motto, but if I had to pick one, I reckon I'd pick the Hawthorn Football Club one, which is also our Camberwell Grammar School one, which is Spectrum or Agenda, which means it's Latin for by our deeds may we be known.
What would you like people to remember you by?
Honestly, anything, because I feel like that's some people's greatest fears is not being remembered when they die. So I feel like just anything that I could be remembered for positively.
If you had to mentor a young Aboriginal kid at the school, what advice or support would you offer them?
I would probably advise them to take opportunities after school. So like stuff like this mentoring program, to like take it, use it to its fullest. When we go on excursions and stuff and learn stuff, just try absorb as much information as you can.
You've been doing a mentoring program with me for a couple of years. What have you enjoyed about it?
I like the fact because we haven't done much Indigenous stuff before that, except this year in history, which was not much. But we didn't learn anything, or I didn't get to learn about my culture and what's happened to our people.
I like the recognition of the stuff we do. As in, like in school, you don't learn much Indigenous stuff. The only thing I can remember that we've done for school regarding Indigenous stuff is whether the Aboriginal race getting theoretically like wiped out was a genocide or not. And that's the only thing, and that's not even a positive thing. So I like the experience of like doing, I know we've done games of like Indigenous people, learning about the culture, stuff like that, because we don't learn about that in school.
If you had a chance to stand up in front of the whole school and talk to the school about what it's like being Aboriginal, what would you say to them? Or what would you want them to know?
Probably the stats. Like I said before, you know, Indigenous people are the most convicted race. I need to Google the other stats, but just like those stats, like how Indigenous people are as a race and what's happening to our race.
Look, I want to thank you for participating in the project over the last 2 years. I've thoroughly enjoyed talking to you, and I know that we're working with each other for the next couple of years. So thank you very much.
You're welcome. It's been a blast.
Anyone want to have a go trying this beer?